I'm trying to get my Africans in America. My Africans. Oh gosh.
What is up, YouTube fam? Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be talking about Jess Pearly Things and her apology video. It's going to be a blind react, and the reason she apologized is because she invited avowed racist, openly known racist Nick Fuentes onto her podcast, and she basically didn't really push back. It was kind of like the Fresh and Fit situation where they didn't push back on Charleston White. She didn't push back on his racist comments. She kind of just let him say whatever he wanted to say. And she also made some questionable comments herself. And so we have clips, and we're going to go ahead and blind react.
I'm trying to get my Africans in America. My Africans. Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
Yeah. She knew she stepped on it. Shouts out to The Real MTR, at The Real MTR on YouTube for the clips. I couldn't find these myself, so I just took them from his video. So shouts out to him. But yeah, let's go ahead and watch it. She knows she stepped on it. She knew what she said was wrong. What does she mean by my Africans? So what she means by this actually is supposedly she has African employees. And so she has African employees but has an avowed racist and is making fun of her African employees and saying she's trying to get her Africans to America. I mean, it's crazy because it's giving like slavery vibes, like slave master vibes, like my Africans. It's crazy, but let's keep watching.
You're gonna get yourself canceled. This sounds similar to the slavery stuff too, because that's literally the founder of, or the guy who made Roots said, I wanted a myth for my people to live by. So they often, but that's what they do, is they embellish. And I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible, it was,
right,
but they want to make it like more horrible so that they can control people. I'm trying to get.
Yo, that is crazy that she said that. She's basically saying that slavery wasn't that bad, as if she was there, as if she was a person who experienced slavery. Like, that is nuts. She just said slavery was embellished. That is crazy. That is bananas. That people are pushing embellishment of slavery to keep people in control. How are you controlling people by making slavery seem as bad as it was? And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she was basically agreeing with him here because he's a Holocaust denier. Nick is, right? And so he had just said, like, there's no way that there were 6 million Jews, gassed or killed or burned during the Holocaust. That didn't happen, because he doesn't believe that happens. He doesn't believe that there were 6 million Jews that were the hands of. And so that's where that comment comes from. But that's bananas, man. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I got another clip of her saying some, well, it's not a clip of her, it's the clip of Nick.
I wish you luck, and,
Yo, the fact that she's actually wishing Nick Fuentes luck. It's almost like she was like smitten by him. It's kind of crazy because it seems like she's a fan. You know what the problem with a lot of these creators is? She's basically, I'm guessing she's trying to pivot into the political arena, and literally the worst way you could do it is by having Nick Fuentes on. She's wishing him luck, like she's wishing an actual bad person luck in life. Like, that's crazy. If it were up to him, you're wishing him luck, and what he wants is literally the separation of races. If it were up to him, there is no commingling within the races, right? Which is crazy, right? But
I don't.
Wow.
That's good.
I really don't.
That's good.
I don't wish luck to racists.
Oh, I'm not.
She said basically what I just said.
Not racist.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Nick.
Yeah, I am a little bit racist,
I know.
but
He admits it. I mean, he's very open about this. He's very open. But let's just continue watching.
listen, but it's not because I hate people. I love people. It's just race is real. Hey, it is what it is.
And the Italians, we do not claim you.
Oh, hey, the Italians don't claim you. You're the one dating a black guy.
Yo, crazy. The Italians don't claim you're the one dating a black guy. But you see what I mean? There's no pushback from her. Why hasn't she said anything? If you're gonna have these controversial political figures, because he is a controversial political figure. He's not just a random racist dude. At least do your research and give a little pushback. That's crazy that she just sits there and says nothing, while the other chick is the one that's actually getting on his ass for saying the things that he says.
Italians don't claim me, they don't claim you.
Oh no, they claim me. They claim me.
I don't think so.
They do.
Italian guys, yeah.
Italians,
Tell an
we're
Italian
big
guy about your
lovers.
affinity for black guys. That'll go over real well.
Good one, Nick.
Maybe some brajol. There's some Italian
No,
for
but
you.
I will make my black boyfriend some of that.
Ugh, wow. You don't know any better.
You know what's crazy to me about that is that Nick Fuentes is a racist, but he hangs out with Kanye West, and which makes no sense. And I get why he hangs out with Kanye West, is because Kanye West hates the Jews. But it still wouldn't make sense that just because we have a common enemy, right? So, for example, for Kanye West, it's the Jewish people, and for Nick Fuentes, it's Jewish people. It doesn't mean that we have to be allies. So, he's a racist, and then Kanye West is even stupider because he hangs out with him knowing he's a racist, which is nuts. I mean, he's out here openly admitting it. But let's go ahead and get to the apology video, because that's what we're really here for. But you saw the comments. This is crazy. She ended up deleting the podcast because she got a bunch of backlash, and a lot of people were talking, basically getting on her ass for platforming this dude. But let's check out her apology. All right, so here we have the apology video, and we're going to go ahead and blind react to it.
What up, guys? Welcome to the Just Pearly Things YouTube channel, and welcome to Morning Coffee Thoughts, where I give my thoughts over morning coffee. Today, I'm going to be addressing the Nick Fuentes situation. Yeah, I know why you guys are here. Okay. So, I want to first say I take full accountability for everything that happened. Everything that happens in life, as I say to the girls on my show, is my own fault. The fact that people are making these videos is my own fault. And
I would say it's your fault that you'd had Nick on the show. That I would agree with you on that, but that people are making the videos, it's not necessarily your fault, man. I mean, people just look to make videos for content. I mean, literally what I'm doing right now is making videos for content. Because if somebody really wanted to address you, they wouldn't have to address you publicly. They could reach out to you, DM you or something, and then talk to you like, hey, look, I don't think what you did was right. You should be more informed, blah, 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 and have a conversation with you that way. The reason people do this is to make content. That's not necessarily your fault. It's just people want to make content for reviews, obviously.
I'm going to give you guys an explanation and give you guys context for some of the conversations that were had. Just know it's not an excuse. It's my own fault. I take full accountability for everything that happened. Okay. So, but I'm going to answer questions that people have brought my way. So the first thing is, why did you have Nick on? So, the reasoning behind having Nick Fuentes on was because I heard that he was on the no-fly list and he lost his bank account. Now, from your point of view, you would think, why would you invite someone on that's on the no-fly list, right? That would be a bad... Well, he's not anymore. That's how he flew, but...
Yeah, but just because he's on the no-fly list and he lost his banking information doesn't mean you need to platform him. And if you're gonna do that, at least do the research to know why it was that he was deplatformed, right? Just extremely stupid and like careless.
He was. So I was more just curious why this man was banned on everything. Now, I've seen a lot of videos that say I play dumb or I'm playing dumb. And I'll tell you what I knew and what I didn't know. So I did know that he was a known racist. I did know he was a known sexist. I did know that basically every bad name in the book, from the right and the left, everyone hated him.
So if you knew that there was no reason for you to have him on the show, if you knew that there was literally no reason to have him on the show, because you already knew it, so he was on the no-fly list or whatever, and then he got debanked, but you knew that he was a bad person, and you knew the backlash was gonna come. Especially when she didn't say anything about any of the comments that he made. She kind of just stayed quiet.
And in hindsight, I should have had someone, maybe Sarah Garvey, maybe another content creator that could have pushed back more and really was more educated on the topics that he was talking about.
So that's what I'm saying. So you just invited this dude and you didn't even do your research, your due diligence to be able to address the points that he was going to make, because you know he was going to take it there. You knew that he was going to take it there. He was going to bring up race. I mean, he's a racist. There was no reason for you to stay quiet about it and not do pushback. If you're going to, it's like, I don't know, if you have a guest on your show, you at least want to know something about them, and then you want to know, just in case you plan to, question them or they bring up certain points of the things that they believe, that you have some way of rebutting what they're talking about. You don't just get into the politics of things without knowing any politics. Why are you pivoting from your normal, accountability, girl accountability, women and marriage stuff? You know why? It's because that stuff's getting boring. That stuff's getting old. There's only so many times you can tell so many girls over and over and over and over again, you need to take about accountability. You need to be responsible. You need to, build a wife. It's cool that you know all these stats and build a household. It's cool with a man. It's cool that you know all these stats, but it gets old. It gets repetitive. It's like, why would I want to watch you say the same thing over and over and over again?
And during this conversation, we were talking about immigration, and I said, I'm trying to get my Africans to America. Now, I watched it back, guys. It was so cringy.
Yeah, you watched it back, and even in the moment, I mean, I showed the clip earlier. Even in the moment, you can literally tell that she knew at that point that she fucked up, that she stepped on shit.
I'm trying to get my Africans in America. My Africans. Oh, gosh.
Oh, boy.
And there was no way to take it back. Now, I don't know if this interview was live or if this was pre-recorded. But if you knew that happened, that could have been something that could have been removed from the interview. You could have that could have been edited out. So not only was that careless of you, but also your editing team. And you for not even bringing it up, because they probably didn't think anything of it. They're like, oh, well, she didn't bring any concerns. There's no reason to edit this part out. So just stupid.
I really respect the African culture. I had no ill will or malice.
The African culture, she's just, even in this apology, she's looking kind of ignorant. There's no such thing as African culture. There's, I believe, either 53 or 54 countries in Africa. I'm trying to pull the number off the top of my head. I can't remember correctly. I could be wrong, but I know it's in the 50s. And each individual country in Africa has its own culture and customs. There's no such thing as an African culture. So she's just looking kind of ignorant here. That just, at least, I don't know. I mean, you're making an apology video trying to apologize for the comments that you made and for having Nick Fuentes and not giving him pushback. But even then, you didn't even bother to try and educate yourself on basic things.
Towards any of that. But it sounded absolutely awful. It was so cringy watching back. So it was stupid. It was stupid. Okay. Now let's talk about the My Africans was the other one. And then, the joke about Blessing being late. So one thing that they cut out from that clip was that Nick Fuentes did say after, I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm just kidding. Okay. Now, even so, it was still in poor taste. And what I didn't think about at the time was, sorry, for those that
So it goes back to what I was saying earlier. So her editors cut out some portion of the video, but they couldn't edit out when she said My Africans. That's kind of crazy, but whatever.
Now, this was the part that was probably the dumbest part of the whole interview. This was the stupidest, the dumbest. Oh, this was stupid. So I said that slavery was embellished in the interview. Now, that not only is that comment insensitive, it's not accurate. There were things in slavery that were worse than what was shown on TV. What I was referring to, I don't even want to tell you guys what I was trying to say because it wasn't what came out and it doesn't even matter. Again, if you watch...
But it does matter because it matters to the people. It matters to the people who might have been offended by what you said. Like, you literally tried to say that slavery wasn't as bad as they portrayed on TV or whatever. It wasn't as bad as they make it out to be. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that you actually can't even show on TV that isn't allowed because of regulations in the FTC. I believe it's either the FTC or the FCC. Correct me there on which one it is. There's a lot of things that you can't actually show on TV because you might get fined by the government for showing these things on TV. So we really probably don't really even know the real stories about like slavery, or we know stories about slavery that had to be toned down because certain things couldn't be shown on TV.
And he would say openly racist comments to her. Now, I should have pushed back on that. Like, I've been in interracial relationships. So for me to not push back on that, especially with all...
Exactly. You didn't even say anything to him. That's why a lot of people have a lot of problems with you in regards to this. But yeah.
Of the people that have been on my show was stupid. It was stupid. I just... I was kind of like a deer in the headlights. I didn't know what to say. I was like, oh gosh. And the video we were watching wasn't even supposed to be about that. So, I really don't have an excuse. It was just stupid. And again, I take full accountability for this stuff.
All right. This is the PR portion of the video. We're not even going to watch this. Just thought the whole thing was stupid. She shouldn't have brought a known racist, onto her show without even trying to educate herself first. Shouldn't have had him on there in the first place because, the internet is ruthless and there's always going to be backlash. You don't want to platform somebody that can potentially get you canceled or go on somebody's show that can potentially get you canceled unless you're going on their show or you're having them on your show to push back. But she didn't even attempt to educate herself and learn something about him, and she knew like surface level stuff that everybody knows, that he's a racist or whatever. But she didn't even try to educate herself on the things that he advocates for, the things that he says, to have any sort of pushback. So if you're going to get into the political space, educate yourself on politics and be ready to push back. Again, I think that she can learn from this. Hopefully she learned from this, but that's all I got. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you don't miss any other videos that I put out. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.